Previously on a very abridged Silmarillion. Eru made the Ainu. Together they sang the world into existence. Other than Melkor with his inappropriate jazz, the world was pretty good. The Valar, who are some of the most powerful of the Ainur, go down into the earth to be part of it, and they make it ready for the elves and the men to come, even though Melkor's still doing his best to just be a bit of an arse. And that brings us to Valaquenta. So Valaquenta literally means account of the Valar. Another part of the book, the published book, the Silmarillion, the biggest part is the Quenta Silmarillion, which means the account of the Silmarils. We'll get to that. You've read the Iliad, you might remember that chapter 2 is just a list of ships and who was on the ships, so that you know who's there for the battles. This is the chapter 2 of the Iliad of the Silmarillion. So this chapter tells us all about the Valar and the Maiar. And we know exactly how many Valar there are, and we'll list them all in this and probably a second part of this too. We don't know how many Maiar there are. There could be infinite, but basically the Valar are the most powerful of the Ainur who went down into the earth to be there, and the Maiar are all the other Ainur who went into the earth to be there as well. They're kind of like primordial spirits. There are 7 queens and 7 kings of the Valar, so let's meet them. Side note, the names given here are in the Quenya language, which is like the High Elven language. The other Elven language that's most well known is Sindarin, spoken by the Wood Elves and that kind of thing. So all of these characters have other names that pop up in The Lord of the Rings and elsewhere, so that's kind of fun, but for now we're just talking in Quenya. Also worth noting, Melkor is not counted among the Valar because he's an arse. So the first is Manwë. He is Ilúvatar's favourite, apparently. He and Melkor are kind of considered brothers, but Melkor's the black sheep, so let's not talk about him. Manwë is the lord of the winds and the air, which is nice. He's kind of considered the king of the earth, and he's married to Varda, who is the queen of the stars and knows the depths of the cosmos, which is nice. Varda, by the way, is also called Elbereth, which might sound familiar if you've read Lord of the Rings. And we have Ulmo, lord of the waters. So incidentally is considered very important by elves and men, and so Ulmo is considered very powerful indeed. Worth noting that he and Manwë work together a lot because you need wind and water to make rain. Rain is good. Aule is a smith god, a bit like Hephaestus in the Greek and Roman. He is credited with doing all the shaping of the land to make hills and mountains and stuff, which is rather nice of him. He apparently is the most similar to Melkor in terms of temperament, although he's not jealous, which helps. Aule has a wife as well. Her name is Yavanna, and she is the keeper of plants and animals. And there's the brothers Mandos and Lorien, who are charged with keeping spirits, whatever that means. Famously, Mandos has the halls of Mandos, where the spirits of dead elves who haven't been reincarnated yet get to stay. So apparently can see all of the future except the stuff that Ilúvatar keeps private, so that must be fun for him. His wife, Vaire, is super into knitting. She makes all the events of history into tapestries and puts them in his halls. And Lorien and his wife Este take care of the living. They give peace to everyone who comes to their gardens. We'll finish this up next time.